My website is thepeoplesentrepreneur.com or thepeoplestrep.com. You can see it right there, the People's Trep. You can check that out. 9 characteristics of the grind. So let's talk about this. I want to go through all 9 of these, and hopefully I can keep this in 30 minutes. You know, I get pretty excited when I talk about this stuff because I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about the grind. I'm passionate about business and inspiration. All right, so 9 characteristics of the grind. Number 1, the grind is not easy. All right. And I'm sure you've heard this quote before. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Everybody would. If pursuing your dream was easy, would you do it? I'm pretty sure you would. If pursuing and fulfilling your purpose in life were easy, would you do it? If somebody said, this is your purpose, this is how you fulfill it, and these are the results, and it's going to be easy, would you do it? Of course you would. Nobody would turn that down. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would turn it down. But if it were easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy, though. And in a minute, we're going to talk about hard work. That's number 4 on this 9 characteristics of the grind. And look, it may not be easy, but it's always worth it. Right? It may not be easy to fulfill your dream. It may not be easy to fulfill your purpose. But guess what? It's always going to be worth it. It's always going to be worth the hard work, the dedication, the sweat, the blood, the tears, the energy that you put into it. It's always going to be worth it. If you understand what I'm saying, tap the screen and give me some hearts. All right. And see, the fact that it's not going to be easy is the fact that it's not going to be easy means that your why has to be so big that it pushes you and it drives you towards the fulfillment of that thing. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Number 2, let me move on. Number 2, it doesn't always feel good. Remember this and tweet this. Tap the screen and give me hearts if you understand this. There's always going to be pain associated with your dream. There will always be pain associated with your dream. When you're pursuing that thing and you're trying to fulfill that thing in life, it's always going to be pain. It's just like, I look at it just like this. It's just like having a baby. Any fathers or mothers in the house, y'all tap your screen real quick. If you're a father or if you're a mother, tap your screen and give me those hearts. It's just like having a baby. My wife and I, we just had a son. He's 3 months old. His name is Cortney Jeremiah Sargent Jr. or the second, Cortney Sargent the second. And we went through this whole phase of pregnancy from conception. And I use a lot of parallels and I use a lot of metaphors. And so I need you to understand, and I need you to get this metaphor. Birthing your dream is just like having a baby. There's always going to be pain associated with the birthing of your dream. You have conception, right? You have the idea of your dream, just like the conception of a baby. And then you have this process when the baby is developing, the process of developing your dream. All right. And then you have this process of growth. The baby, after the baby develops all of his organs and his or her limbs and his head and brain, spinal cord, all that stuff, then it goes through a growth process where the baby grows, right? Talking about the grind and talking about your dream and fulfilling your dream. So, and then you go into this place, this time period where she's having contractions, and these contractions cause pain, right? There's pain associated with these contractions. And after these contractions, they get closer and closer and closer together. And then you go into what they call labor and delivery, right? And so this is the final hours right here, the final hours in birthing that baby. There's always pain associated with the birthing of your dream. There's always pain. Get this now. Tweet this, tap the screen. There is always pain associated with the birthing of your dream. And look, there is pain in the process, but guess what? There's purpose in the pain as well. It's not going to be easy and it's not going to feel good. You're going to go through some pain. You're going to go through some HE double hockey stick. You understand what I'm saying? Tap the screen and give me an amen if you understand what I'm saying. All right. There's always going to be pain. All right. Let me move on. I'm getting excited. All right. Number 3, you don't always want to do it. And this is, many people give up in this time right here. Many people give up. You don't always want to do it. You don't always want to grind. You don't always want to pursue success. Sacrifice is a necessary part. All right. Sacrifice is a necessary part of your success. And look, where there is no sacrifice, there is no success, period. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what background you come from. Sacrifice is a necessary part of success. I grew up fatherlessness. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in poverty. I grew up in the trailer parks. You understand? And I'm no different. My journey to success is no different than somebody else's journey who grew up with money. Because guess what? Both of us are going to have to make some sacrifices in order to get to the end of what we're trying to pursue. And I talked about this in my book, Stuck in Neutral, How to Achieve Success by Living Life and Drive. In chapter 9, it's titled, and I'm going to read just a few lines of it. No sacrifice, no success. That's what it's titled, chapter 9, right? In order to be successful, sacrifice is required. Where there is no sacrifice, there is no success. When there is no sacrifice, there is no growth. If you do not make any sacrifices, you will not grow. That's just a part of it. That's a part of it. And sacrifice is defined as the act of giving up something that you want to keep in order to do something else or to help someone. All right. Giving up something to get something. That's the principle of sacrifice. And look, there are going to be times when you have to sacrifice time with your family. I'm not telling you to neglect your family. I'm not recommending that, because a real man, a real leader, man or woman, is there for their family and put their family first. What I am telling you to do is cast a vision to your family. And that way, when they catch the vision, boom, they can take it and run with it. And then you can be in grind mode. Because look, let me tell you something. I've been there. I've been in the position in life when my family didn't support my grind, when my wife didn't support my grind. Why? Because she didn't understand my grind. And so it's your job to help your spouse and your family to understand your grind. They're not going to always understand your grind, but it's your job to help them understand. Cast a vision, make it plain so they can see it and they can run with it. If you understand that, or if you relate to that, tap the screen and give me some hearts. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Number 4. And again, y'all can slide this thing to the right. You can share it with somebody. If you're enjoying this, I appreciate the love and the support. Appreciate it. All right. Number 4, hard work. It takes a lot of work to be successful. Like, it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of work. And listen. I know that many people who are at the pinnacle of success, they make it look easy. They make, millionaires make life look so easy to live, like you want to aspire to do what they do, right? And you want to aspire to get to where they are, but it's not easy. It takes hard work. Like, it takes grind in order to be successful. You understand? And this is a characteristic of the grind, is that it's hard work. All right. Because, man, if you don't know this by now, life is going to give you the business. Listen to me. Life is going to give you the business. And if you're not ready for it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you got to make up in your mind, because it's going to get difficult. It's going to get hard. It's going to be tough. You're going to go through periods of dark times. And before you get to those dark times, in the sunshine days, you got to make up in your mind that you're not going to quit, that you're not going to give up. Why? You can't give up just because it's hard. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You understand? So quit expecting it to be easy. Quit expecting the easy route out, because there's not no easy route. The only way out of it is through it. You got to go through it. You can't jump out of the boat. You can't get in the middle of the sea in the canoe and just say, I give up. No, because you're still going to be in the middle of the sea in the canoe. You can't jump out of the canoe, because it's going to get difficult. That's why your why has to be bigger than you. Get that. Your why has to be bigger than you. Your why has to be so big that it scares you. If your why doesn't scare you, and if it does not make you cry, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. And if you understand what I'm talking about, tap the screen, slide it and share. Let me get some water real quick, because I'm about to lose my voice. I've been talking all day long. Share this while I'm taking a water break. Y'all share this with somebody on Twitter. All right, number 5. Let's move on. We're about halfway through. Number 5. All right, so number 5, nonstop. The grind is nonstop, okay? It's nonstop. It doesn't stop, okay? My schedule is bananas. My schedule is crazy. Like, it's foolish that it's crazy. Whatever's in a man's heart is what will be found in. That's good. That's good. And I had to jump over because you were yelling at me. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you thought I was yelling at you, and I'm glad it's hitting home. Thank you so much for your hearts. I appreciate it. Look, the grind is nonstop, okay? 80% of the time I'm busy, and then I'm resting the other 20% of the time, all right? I'm always busy doing something, whether it's work. I'm actually about to go back to school to pursue. My ultimate goal is to get my PhD in business. So Y'all be praying with me. I start school next week. I'm going back. I'm a college dropout. You know, I dropped out of college after three years. So y'all just be praying for me. Keep me in your prayers. I'm gonna start my coursework to pursue my my business degree. But you know, I'm always busy, and I love it. I love it. I love being busy because it keeps me occupied. And not only do I love being busy, I love being productive. And we're gonna talk about this here in a minute. So I'm busy planning, I'm busy developing, I'm busy in research. I research a lot of things. I do a lot of research. I do more research than I do execution. And you got to get this. I'm sweating up in here. You got to get this. You need to do more research than you do execution. Why? Why do you say, Cortney, what is research? Research is reading. If you want to be a leader, you must be a reader. Okay. So research everything that you're involved in. Research your industry. You need to ooze your industry, what you are and who you are. You need to become that thing. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'm getting off my point. I'm getting off my point here. I'm getting off my point. But you need to research. Do more research than you do execution. I'm working on my latest post. See what you did. Grind mode and force. That's right. Grind mode and force. Grind mode activated, baby. Yes. Yes. Grind mode activated. That's where we at. That's where we at. That's what you got to do. So do more research than you do execution. Because when you get to the point of execution, if you've done your research right, execution will be just like that. You can execute just like that. Execute just like that. I got this one from Eric Thomas. Execution is worship. Execution is worship. That's all I'm going to say. All right, number six. And let me say this too about number 5. Everybody's not cut out for the grind. Right. And this is a characteristic of the grind. Everybody's not cut out for it. So at this point in the grind, when it becomes nonstop and your schedule is always booked, you're always doing something, you're always going over, you know, your schedule is always booked, you're always doing something. Many people give up because many people can't handle the pressure of a busy schedule. I love it. I thrive off of it. Man, I get bored if I'm not busy, period. All right. Number 6. Let's move on. Consistent. The grind is consistent. Look. Consistency is one of the most important aspects of the grind and one of the most important aspects about reaching success. And honestly, if I can just be transparent, I struggle with this sometimes. And I think we all do. Consistency is so important because when let me give you the example. Let me give you an analogy here, how important consistency is. Consistency is hitting a tree in the same spot, and eventually watching that tree come down. All right. So what happens if you take an axe and you're trying to chop down an oak tree? What happens if you take the axe and you just swing it all and just hitting the tree in all different places? What's going to happen? Absolutely nothing is going to happen. Why? Because you're not consistent with what you're doing. Your actions and your swings are not consistent. But guess what? What if you take that axe and you hit it in the same spot? You hit it in the exact same spot with the same amount of force, with the same amount of pressure. Every single time you're hitting it and you're hitting it and you're hitting it. After a while, you're going to be yelling, timber, timber. The tree is coming down. Why? Because you're being consistent with it. You're hitting it with the same force at the same time with the same consistency. If you're not consistent, it's not going to happen. You're just not going to reach success if you're not consistent. You know, the grind is not, and it's leading me to my next point. The grind is not going to happen if you're not consistent. You'll never reach success if you're not consistent. You'll never reach the next level if you're not consistent. All right, let me move on. Number 7. Success is often achieved by those who do know that failure is inevitable. If I understand that, you know what, on this process, I'm going to fail sometimes. You know, on this process and this journey, everything's not going to work out the way that I want it to work out. I am going to fail sometimes. So when I reach the failure, I need to understand how to deal with the failure. If you don't know how to deal with the failure, then you're going to become a failure because you're not going to deal with it in the right way.